The first box has arrived from the Nintendo employee of all sealed games. Here is the first video of the Nintendo employee collection boxes. These will be sealed items in here that I wrapped myself. I did the whole video already and found out I ran out of memory on the phone. So here is a quick recap. I wrapped these myself. Took a long time to wrap it at the FedEx, but you can see I built insert bracers and made sure everything in here survived beautifully. Condensed everything, and I brought the cases because the gentleman obviously didn't have any of the protective cases, but I didn't run out of them, as well as I didn't have any rumble cases. So these were all sealed. These are the Game Boy games. Now I had some of these wrapped in tissues in the previous video that didn't work out, so I'm just gonna showcase, and this part hasn't been touched yet, so you'll see how I wrapped the stuff originally. But sealed, episode 1, Rumble. I don't think it's big bucks. Oh, on a side note, if you guys see anything that's different with the video game versus like a production one, because these all come from a Nintendo employee, there could be differences with some of these games. Not all these could be production pieces. So please keep an eye out. I picked up a few open games for Nintendo GameCube that had a Nintendo barcode system on the inside. So keep your eye out. But not big bucks there. This one was one of the opened ones, Snood, which, of all the things that could have been opened, thank God it was Snood, right? Don't think it's big dollars. Now we're getting the cool stuff. These are all case fresh, and they went to a Nintendo employee who just received them, said cool, and then put them away. Beautiful condition. I'm not sure what they're going to grade, but they should grade pretty high. This is probably one of the ones I'm going to be keeping. We have a Kirby. Good stuff. Overall, I'm a big collector of the classics. I love RPGs and shooters. So anytime I see an RPG fantasy, I'll keep that. I'm not a huge collector of video games, but I have a fair collection. Perfect Dark. And I had all these wrapped in toilet paper from the hotel because that's the best way to protect these things and insulate them, as plastic bags and toilet paper, preferably unused. So I had most of these in cases, and I had some wrapped, but there was a few games that were sacrificed. So Game Boy Color Beauty and the Beast was put towards the side here, but survived beautifully, so that worked out. Not big ticket dollar item there, but still I like to preserve the games, make sure they come back to my home in clean, minty shape. Even if they're not worth much and they get damaged, I feel bad. Ken Griffey Jr. Slugger, fully sealed. Absolutely gorgeous shape. Another Virtual Boy Golf. I know you guys are screaming excited. We have 2 Golf sealed, which is, the joke with the Virtual Boy stuff is they're difficult to find because the system didn't sell well. So they didn't produce that many of the games. But on the other side, since they did not sell well, there's a lot of sealed games still out there. It just depends on which title you have. The only game that had damage, which of all the games I can be pulling out of these boxes, I'm happy that's the BMX one. Pokemon Pinball. This one was beautifully wrapped in tissue paper and bags, but survived absolutely just case fresh, mint sealed. We have a Tetris DX sealed. Ooh, I love the color reflection. That's so of that time, and it's perfect. This is probably a more uncommon game to get for Virtual Boy. Little bit of creasing up here. Not excited about that. I think these are probably worth about $200 each, maybe a little bit more. The golf obviously being less. Here's another shooter. That was a fun game. I did rent the Virtual Boy as a kid, and I was like, well, that's neat, but I don't think I'm going to drop that much money on this stuff. This is interesting. So this one's not sealed. And at first I was like, oh, we'll open it up. But then I saw some tape here. So I'm going to look into that because, if I was at a flea market and I saw this tape there, I'd be like, oh, that's just random kid just doing stupid stuff. But this is a Nintendo employee purchase. So before I do anything, I want to see what's going on here. Just cover my bases. I'm not an expert in video games. I already said it before. I am an expert in action figures. but I know when to just research a little bit more. Sealed NBA hoops, clean shape, fully sealed, no tears. We have a Wario Land, beautiful piece. Beautiful. Kind of get mesmerized just how mint this stuff is. And this will never happen to me ever again. I am probably never going to get a Nintendo employee find like this, let alone hold sealed amazing games like this again. So I'm very happy to do this at least once. And we have a Donkey Kong Country Color, fully sealed, case fresh, just gorgeous. Now this part of the box I did not do in the original video, so this is how it was shipped to me with a little more packing on top. Let's get the divider out. Wish I had a larger box to actually have things more separated and flattened out, but as I said, it is what it is. So we had 2 more. I keep hitting the mic. There we go. Nice. I pack these things. So we have a sealed Little Mermaid. That obviously is a big, big ticket item if you don't know video games, because it really isn't. And one more. This one has a little bit of a ding there, and I'm always worried because, like, did that happen on my watch, or was it shipped like that originally to the guy and he had this little bit of wear? But most likely it's not me who did it, but I'm always worried that I cause these little damages here and there. This was a great piece. Again, couldn't prepare for this, and this is how I wrapped them all. I didn't have a case. There was no acrylic. I could have ordered probably one in advance, but we have... Bum, bum, bum. Who dead? Ever heard of Pokemon, that long-forgotten 1990s card game and video games that no one even remembers to this day? Because everything's about Digimon now? Yes. This is a case-fresh, sealed Hey You Pikachu. I mean, wow, right? No damage issues. Tape sealed. Just, I'm happy to have that. That's just gorgeous. Most of this stuff will be sent in to be graded. Most of it will be sold off. I'll mention which ones I'm keeping, but we'll see how it all pans out when they get graded and what the grades are.